In this video, I'm going to show you a drone shot of a house I recently looked at, and I'm going to teach you how to inspect it for wind damage and hail damage. Hey everybody, this is Andy with Patterson Adjuster Training. I'm an Xactimate certified trainer, a drone pilot, and I've been an adjuster for about 25 years. I've also worked as an independent field trainer and field manager. And I train people like you to be a fantastic elite adjuster. So here's the house, and it's kind of offset a little bit. I didn't do a very good job lining up my drone, but anyway, if you were looking at this house, obviously it has wind damage, but what we're going to do first is we're going to act like we're looking at this for a hail inspection. Now I get it, most of the time you're looking for wind and hail damage, but we're going to keep these inspections separate. That way you know what to do when you get deployed working wind or hail. And keep in mind, if an insured turns in a claim for hail and you get out there and you find wind damage, a lot of carriers are going to only consider hail damage for that claim. If they want to make a claim for wind damage, they have to file a separate claim. So keep that in mind. If you're looking at a roof for hail, you may not be able to consider any wind damage, even though a lot of times wind and hail go together. And on this roof, we're looking basically at a lot of 10s and a lot of 12s. So the first thing to do is like, where do I set my ladder up? Well, I typically try not to set it up in the front. And the reason I don't do that is because whenever you put your ladder on these gutters, regardless of how careful you are, whenever you step on the ladder, it's going to move side to side just a little bit. And where it moves side to side, it's going to scrape the paint off. I don't want the insured, every time they come to the front door, they see this scrape marks on their gutters. Now, I actually use a gutter guard. It's a little plastic piece that drops in the gutter, and it keeps your ladder secure, plus it keeps you from damaging the gutters. So if we look at the back, a good place to set up would probably be right here, or maybe even over here in this little offset. Now what you want to do, if you can, is find a valley to go up in. You don't want to set your ladder up right here in the middle and then try to go up, because that's dangerous. And you don't want to set it up right here on the corner and try to go up this hip. You want to set it up where you can go up into a valley. Now if we go back to the front, if you were to set it up here, a good place would be right here. Then you could go up this valley, or you could go up this valley, and you could also set it up right here. Now you wouldn't want to come over here and set it up and then go up in the middle of this slope, because you don't have anything to really catch. Now if you have a goat or something that you throw over the top, or a Ridge Pro, then that's a little different story, but I'd always try to go up in a valley. And it's best also, if you think about, if you fell, what would be under you. There's not a lot of good options around here. What you would like to do is, if you're going to fall in this grass versus falling on the concrete. But the way this house is set up, there's really no good options to set up for a soft landing. I actually set up here because, again, I have my gutter guard, and I put it in this gutter right here, and then I went up this valley. So if you're looking at this for hail damage, you only have to look at directional slopes. And so if you're looking at the front slope, which faces south, then you don't need to jump onto this slope or this slope. You only need one slope that represents all the slopes that face south. Instead of doing directions on this house, I'm just going to say front right, back left. The goal of this is to make sure you do a thorough inspection of the damage. And the theory behind test squares is, if you have hail hitting this house, if you have damage here on this front slope, then you would expect the same damage to be on this slope that faces the front, this slope as well. And so if you had a giant salt shaker and you shook it above this house, you would expect the salt to fall on all these slopes. Now, there can be wind-blown hail, and sometimes hail is directional, because you'll a lot of times look at a house and you'll find this front slope is beat up really bad, and you get to the back slope and it's not so bad. And that's generally what you find. You find 2 or 3 directional slopes that are beat up, and then the 4th directional slope doesn't have that much damage. So anyway, what I would do is I would do this as my front test square, and it can be 10 by 10, it can be 5 by 20, but to just make it easy, we're going to make this 10 by 10, and you want your test square to be 100 square feet. Then I'm going to pick up my goat, come across here, and then I'm going to come across this ridge, come down this hip, and this is where we're at. Then I'm going to drop my goat right here, and I'm going to use this as my right test square. And it can be 10 by 10. And then I'm going to come across here, get this one as my left test slope or test square, and then I'm going to put my goat up here and get this as my back test square. You don't need to crawl all over here around these sides and look at these slopes. Now you can if you want, and generally I do. I come across the ridge and just look down here to make sure I get all of the vents and pipe jacks accounted for. And then I would get my goat, and I'm come across here, back down, come down this valley, or you can come down this valley, and then put your goat down, climb down off the ladder, grab your goat, pack it up, and then you're done. Now let me jump in here and let you know I've got some freebies for you. The most popular is the Roofing Field Guide. Basically what it is, it shows thumbnails of components that you're going to see on most residential roofs. It also gives you a brief description, and it gives you the Xactimate code that you're going to need if you find one of those items damaged. The other items that I have is a hurricane checklist that tells you everything you need to pack if you get deployed to a hurricane, and I've got some free macros that you can download as well. So make sure you check those out. Link is in the description below. Now let's jump back into the video. Now, if we're going to look at this for wind damage, we have to look at every slope, because wind is directional, and a lot of times you're going to see 1 or 2 directions where the majority of the wind is, and so you're not going to do a test square or test slopes. You're going to actually have to look at every slope out there. And so what I would do, I would set my ladder up here so I could go up into this valley, and I would look at this slope, jump to this slope, then I could come over here, look at this one, look at this slope, look at this slope, this slope, this slope. Then I'm going to come up this valley, check my dormer out, and then I'm going to finish looking at this slope back here. And then I'm going to jump over here to this back slope, and this slope facing the left or west. And then this back slope, look at this offset, come across here, look at this one, come down this side, look at all this, and then my ladder is right there, and I'm going to get off the roof. Now a couple of things to note is you notice that this roof has had previous wind damage, because you can see some previous repairs here, previous repairs here, and also notice that you've got a lot of shingles that are blown off the roof. What I would go ahead and do is find a full shingle and take that with you. That way if you need to send it off to ITEL, you've got a full sample to send them. Now on a wind or hail inspection, you're always going to look at the elevations also. And if you noticed on my wind inspection, I worked in a counterclockwise direction. That's how I do my elevation inspections as well. I start here on the front left and work my way around. Do front, right, rear, left. Where it gets to be a challenge is when you come across here, and then you come into this little offset here. Well, this is technically the right elevation. So a couple of things you could do is you could include this part and this part that faces to the right. You could include that as part of your front elevation, or you could say this is part of your right elevation. So in the comments, let me know how you would handle this. A lot of people just at these corners, these main corners, when they all of this is front elevation. Once they turn this corner, then all of this is right elevation. Once they turn this corner, all of this back here is back elevation. And then once they turn this corner over here, all of this is left elevation. So it's really however you decide to do it. I personally include these as the front elevation. And then when I turn this corner, on these corners right here, that's when my elevations switch. And it really doesn't matter as long as you keep doing everything the same way. That's the trick, is have a process and keep doing the process. So that's how I would do a wind and hail inspection. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. That will let me know to keep making content like this for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.